I'm gonna go ahead and start the stream, but I can mute it if you want.
That is the joke.
Yeah.
We are good. We are live and rolling ahead of schedule.
You guys ready?
Absolutely.
All right. Sheets, kind of make it easier to go through each item.
Sure.
Things that we've already talked about and agreed upon, and then things that we haven't quite. Some of this up here. We can all see it. We talked last week about item A, and it's also on yours about step and column. And I think we all agree and accept that on there. The next one was item B, adding additional money. And then that would also be your salary item for you guys. You offered 500 to base last week, and we would like to counter offer with $1,000 to base from where we are. Compensation item C, on our letter, that's where that was. Here's the item, provide compensation for additional time spent on necessary prep for 2021. You guys presented us last week with an offer.
And I would correct that, that was not an offer. That ESSER funds are not a negotiable item. Because before you guys, when you wrote the letter, you couldn't even use ESSER funds as a form of payment. That's premium pay was through end of May when that became the school's ability to use ESSER dollars as a premium pay going forward. So that was not a negotiable item. That was just something they shared that the board would like to do for all staff, teachers and workers as well. Certified as well, and class.
I think, pay is a negotiable item. In February, I think when we started kind of hearing some talk about possible ESSER money going into the future, and I know that Rebecca and Brian Burst had met with Steve at that time to begin those visiting about ESSER money at that time. Under the Professional Negotiations Act,
Sure.
any compensation is negotiable. We're just letting you know that we agree to what you're offering for and how you've calculated it, and are willing to accept that for the item C that we have on our letter. Okay. D was raising the extra duty, which was accepted by the board on the 8th. And then item E was also accepted on the 8th, and we just wanted to make sure, and we're changing the language from PPA chairperson to BLT committee members. So page 9, sorry. So on page 9, on item G, we were taking PPA chairpersons out and exchanging that for BLT committee members. And that is at each building, $1,000 per building level. For each one of those. Any questions on that section? All right, moving on to defined benefit health insurance. We received, or we have the health insurance number, so we were just looking through what the numbers are looking like on that. You guys said you did not want to change language to cover a full premium. So what we would like to to ask is for an increase to that defined benefit by $50 to what we currently have.
So for clarity's sake, it's right now, the minimum is $450. We'd like to
$450.
see $500
We'd like to add $50 to that.
as the base.
Yes.
And then an additional $50 if you go through all the steps. Worded.
So that was another kind of procedural we're looking at earlier when we started talking about this is right here, we have this wellness incentive language that's in here. And have you guys seen the new language?
I know Amy was working on it today, but the agreement was the base was $450 and everything then you would go above the base of $450. So
Right.
you would want to see $500 as the base as well as all the incentives to go above that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, there it is. So Amy did provide us, again, kind of a procedural thing. If we're looking to change the actual contract, if the board's wanting to change the wording on that, that has to go through the committee here to make the changes to the contract procedural.
And I think she's trying to, in good faith, trying to make it better for you guys. If you would like, we can just set it as whatever the base is and then take most of the language out, if that's what we agree on.
So-
If it's-
She actually sent it to us.
Right.
So we see,
Mhm.
and we didn't really have a problem with the wording at all, but we weren't sure if you had that or if you were gonna bring it just so that we could say we've covered it
And I
to
think,
change the contract.
I couldn't say that, I could say she was just trying to get it today to make sure that it was above board, and it is all positive for the teachers.
So will we need to meet again to agree on that?
I would assume so, but if she's got the wording and you guys agree to this now, the board is fine, because it's only an incentive for the teachers. Anybody who takes our plan, it's not anything that is a negative. We're not
I know,
looking
it's
to
just
change it
kind
for
of
the worst.
Yeah.
Gray area of being able to change the contract without going through a procedure of
Sure.
everyone agreeing upon it.
That's perfectly fine, and I don't know about what was done in the past with the health benefit. I know that this is something they've worked in to help the teachers. We can certainly, and that may be something we negotiate next year, to clarify that wording so that it's just the base. These are just kind of incentives to help anybody who takes the insurance, and I don't know, this is gonna change every year because of our wellness policy. If that's something we need to make a shift in, we can. So.
And like I say, it was just a procedural thing because this wording is also included within the contract
Negotiated
itself.
agreement,
So, when we started talking about health insurance earlier, we were like, okay, just checking over and double checking so that the contract is full and reliable for everybody involved. On the 8th, the board did agree that any additional money out of the current amount that's allotted could be placed into an HSA or towards premium for dental or vision insurance, so we agreed to that. We had another item where we talked about a reduction in fees. And the board had indicated last week that you guys were not interested in waiving fees for staff. So we would like to bring today that just to kind of bring all the teachers to the same level. It wouldn't be one teacher over another, but to waive the $100 out of district fee for certified staff. So it's like we're working to recruit and retain some of the best teachers in our area. Even finding an apartment in Eudora is pretty difficult. So the chances are that as we recruit and retain teachers, that they're going to live outside of our community. We understand paying the school fees, but like all teachers pay the same kind of base standard on the fees.
So if, just for clarity's sake, if I'm a parent of a student that I bring my student into the district, that fee would be waived for a school.
Just the $100.
Right, just $100, not no fees, just $100.
Correct. And then the last part, liquidated damages was agreed to be dropped on the A. And then we had A, B, and C under your letter that was accepted. And then item D was dropped on A. So,
Just to clarify, not to drop liquidated damages entirely, just the proposed changes.
correct.
Which I think on the board letter for clarity, just bring it to you, was just an increase. Okay, so it would just stay what it currently is, okay. Perfect.
I'll add that to the document.
Just drop, increase, probably before. Talk about this. You know where to find it.
I was gonna say, take a slice on your way, help yourself. And
So what we'll offer back is compensation. We're willing to go to $750 on the base. As far as defined benefit, because the insurance did not change or go up, we're not willing to pay any more on defined benefit. I think it's good where it is. We will waive the $100 out of district fee. So that's where we're at.
The language on that is non-refundable application fee. So we know.
And the rationale behind the health benefits, although that is a good benefit for you as an individual, that would cost the district approximately $170,000, $50 per person for the 179 people we have taking that insurance. That's a sizable amount of money for the district as well, on top of raises.
How many people are on
About 179 approximately, and $50 a month, 12 months, $600 a year essentially. It is substantial. So, although, like I said, that benefits everybody that takes it, it's just that on top of stuff is a lot.
Do you guys have any questions on the table?
Time.
Just make sure you get any questions you want.
I don't think so.
Yeah.
Our anniversary's on Wednesday.
All right, I think we can come to an agreement on everything that we presented. Our only stipulation to the whole package deal is, as we're looking at, changing language in the actual contract, if this is the language that we can put to the members and say, hey, this is the language that's gonna be substituted, we would present that to them in that. If it's something other than this, then we would have to come back to the table to agree upon that.
So the
Language
language
change.
that's currently in it is the language you want.
If
No,
this-
this
this
is
is
what
Amy just said.
Amy said.
This
Yeah,
is
that's,
the new.
that's what she's written up to be, so that it's everything's above board, and so that it also is compliant.
Right, so
So-
that it meets,
Right, so she's written it up, that's what.
this, if it's replacing this language within our contract, and it's going, this is the actual language that it's going to be,
Sure.
we're fine, and we can submit that as part of the whole process for our members to vote on.
And if for some reason something changes on that,
Then
We need to
we
come back.
need to come back and.
I can't imagine that it would be anything significant.
I know,
Just maybe language.
Just another box to check.
maybe an A or an and.
Right.
So, other than that,
And I'll make sure you have a copy of that tomorrow when she wraps that up, and if you feel like we need to meet again, we can, but I don't anticipate, when she was wrapping it up today, so I don't anticipate the dollar values changing whatsoever. It might just be, language, so.
so, yeah, if you have that test tomorrow, we can verify it and check it, and then we would plan on, either if we had to meet again, possibly sometime this week, we need to, but otherwise we'll put that out, for a vote for, the teachers.
Do you know when that will happen?
Whenever we can get our friends from ENEA to help us put together the survey perhaps. He's always helped in the past.
I had no idea I had helped in the past, so that's news to me.
Or-
But we'll get it figured out.
Or
You
your
were given
assistant
credit.
has.
I don't, yeah, I guess.
Or your assistant has done it for us.
We will enact
Either a
Survey Monkey will
or
happen.
We'll have something out, probably, next week. We'll give them next week for that. That puts it before the beginning of August, or by that first week of August.
So should they vote affirmative, we would be able to secure it by the August meeting. Okay,
Yes.
great.
All right.
So, thank you.
All right.